Hello and welcome to my channel once again, where we make videos that cover all you need to know about medical doctors and medical students. If you're new to this channel, please subscribe and turn on the bell notification so that you won't miss my videos, which I drop twice weekly. And to my returning subscribers, guys, thank you very much. You're quite amazing. Here we make videos that are not just exclusive to medical doctors, medical students, or health workers too. So even if you happen not to be one, I'm sure that if you look at the videos already in the channel, there are things that you'll resonate with. So please subscribe. In today's video, we're going to talk about weird but very factual experiences that happen in the course of med school. It's been said that the person you were while you came into med school is not the same person you will be when you're leaving med school, and that is really true. You change, you become a totally different person. And these are some of the events that really unconsciously they happen to medical students. Some are preclinical experiences and some are clinical experiences. So if you're a medical student or you're a medical doctor, I know you will relate to this very well. However, if you happen not to be a medical student or even a health worker, these are things that you could really find funny, and you can use it to interrogate some of your medical colleagues, and they will not and agree that this actually happened to them, no matter how unreal or how funny they happen to be. So let's dive into today's video. The first one is admiring people that seem to have very visible veins on their arms. Yes, this one is not just exclusive to medical students. Even doctors, especially house officers, tend to really appreciate that. You will be looking around and seeing patients with very large bulgy veins. It shows you that you're not going to suffer when you need to cannulate this kind of people. Yes, so if you happen to have a very large or bulgy vein, just look at your arm. Next time you walk into the hospital, try and look at the expression of these medical students around you. You might notice that they were admired, and it's true. We always admire and wish that we will always have patients like this, because one thing we're afraid of are patients that you don't see anything, you will just suffer before you are able to cannulate. The next one is diagnosing yourself with very rare illnesses. Let me use an instance. If you have a headache, it could simply be that you're hungry. But then for a medical student, there are a lot of diagnoses that are running through their mind. They don't think about that. Even if they happen to be hungry, you're thinking about having maybe some form of intracranial lesion. So it's easy for us to really think about very far-fetched stuff. But then there's something in medicine that says common things occur commonly. So when something happens or when you are presented with a symptom, you first think about the common things before you move far to the uncommon ones, if the common ones don't seem to be the diagnosis. However, for medical students, their minds just jump to the very uncommon ones. And over time, we get better in this. I am guilty. Most doctors are guilty of this while they were medical students. So someone might just cough and it's just a flu and not metastasis to the lungs. Please. The next one is something that I can really relate with, especially in med school in Nigeria, is that you tend to know the class of particular medical students by their dressings. Yes, that one happens, especially in clinicals, because when you see those that are neatly dressed with very new and shiny work coats, with ties and gowns and the rest, you know that they're just those that are entering clinicals. That means they are the 400 level students. And after that, the path and farm students are the most carefree in terms of dressings. If it's even possible, they come into school with jeans. Any medical student will be able to tell you how difficult path and farm is, and we call it the rate limiting step, because once you pass path and farm, that's all. It's guaranteed that you're going to be a medical doctor. It's the place that has held a lot of would-be doctors and had to make them to leave med school. So it's quite difficult, and they wouldn't have time to really put on dressings. Let's not talk about the final year, because the final year students look like people that are tired and want to leave. So they look like people that it's like they were being made to dress at gunpoint. They are very uninterested. So they might wear the tie and you would see it being forced although the ladies actually do a pretty good job, but they are not as sparkling as the 400 level counterparts. So yes, you know them by their dressings. The next one is something that it's not funny at all. This happens in 400 level. In every set, there must be at least one person that loses consciousness during ward rounds. In Nigeria, we tend to have very long ward rounds. I think the shortest might be just for 2 hours, but many times we stay for very long hours. I remember in pediatrics, when I was doing the neonatology posting, we had ward rounds from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. and we were standing all through. Then it was something very unusual. Now I stand for a very long time and I'm not even conscious of it at all. It's something that has now become very, very normal to us. And man, there always will be at least one person in 400 level, those that start ward rounds, that will lose consciousness. But over time, these people do better. It's like that. That's part of the toughness that is being built in us. The good thing is that they're actually safe, because even if they collapse, they do so in the midst of doctors that will be able to resuscitate and take care of the person properly. I've not fainted yet. The next one is peculiar to those in preclinicals, is identifying anatomic structures in meats like chicken, beef, and other things. You're looking for the muscles, you're looking for the nerves, you're looking for some particular structures like that, the origin and the insertion. Please eat the meat. We get fascinated by it. That's medicine for you. And we're just trying to do rehearsals with our medical knowledge. I don't know, has it ever happened to you before? If you happen to be a medical doctor that didn't do that, please let me know in the comment section. You're really, 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 really peculiar. I looked for structures in meat. Weird. The next one is related to exams. There are always people that will tell you they are not prepared for exams. I might even finish the exams complaining, but by the time the result comes out, they pass excellently. Huh. Yes, it happens. There are people like that. Some even come out crying, and you even want to sympathize with them. And then by the time the result comes out, you that was sympathizing might need to be sympathized. This happened to a very close friend of mine. I wouldn't call any names, but he sympathized and then he failed the exams, and the person was sympathizing with passed the exams. Everybody just doesn't want to admit before the result comes out that they did well. Actually, maybe it's part of medicine, humbling us. You might think that you did very well, and then the result comes out and it's something else. So we're just trying to be on the safe side, I think so. Yeah. In relation to the exams, another fact is this: female medical students do better academically than male medical students. That one is by default. Most of the people that will fail are male medical students. Most of the people that will repeat are male medical students. Most that will leave med school are male medical students. So female students actually do better. It's actually because they're way more diligent than we are. I usually say this, that if male medical students read or prepare for exams as much as female medical students prepare, wow, it's going to be something else. And if female medical students prepare the way we usually prepare, it's going to be a problem. So it's one peculiarity that we really appreciate. So that's why you happen to see that male medical students that want to do better prefer to read with their female counterparts, because they encourage them to be more deliberate. If you follow the male ones, oh God, they'll just mislead you. And I think male medical students tend to handle failure way better too. We fail and don't look as depressed as we're supposed to be when we fail. Okay. But the good news is that practice is different from med school altogether. So even those that were average might even be better doctors. It doesn't mean, but you need to study hard and pass. So please, don't use that as an excuse. Read. Guys, read. The next event is something we call Viva, which is like an oral exams. After you've done the written exams, you will now be interviewed again. It's more like an interview, so you'll be asked questions by your examiners and their doctors. It happens to everybody. All the exams we write, we always have the oral ones. So if it's preclinicals, you have the Viva, and the clinicals, you have the clinical exams. So this event is that at the end of your exams or before your exams, when you hear the questions that some people are being asked, you are scared and you pray not to be asked those kind of questions. And then you hear some other people's exam questions and you wish these were the questions that they asked you. This happens very well in med school and it's very interesting. I'll do a video on some very, very interesting questions that were being asked during Viva. Although this has changed now, med school has tilted towards the OSCE step, in which is very, very objective. Everybody going through a particular station meets the same kind of question. So that helps very well, because this Viva is usually a game of luck and it's not actually fair in some certain sense. Current medical students, what do you think? Are you still going through this particular Viva stuff, or now it's more objective, everybody going through a station answer the same questions? Let me know in the comment section. So that's all for today's video. What do you think about the video? Medical students, can you relate to this? Medical doctors will be able to relate to all of this. What about you, that you happen not to be a medical doctor or a health worker? I'm sure these things are very fascinating. Med school is a very eventful thing, but it makes or breaks us. Actually, it does. So if you've not subscribed, please subscribe and turn on the bell notification. Don't forget to like this video. It goes a long way for me. And share with as many people as possible. Subscribe. Please subscribe. So thank you. I'll see you in my next video.